Appreciate it. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? I'm really glad to be here today. Las Vegas is one of the places that's very close to home because I live in Orlando and Disney World. There's a whole lot they have in common. So what I'd like to do today is I want to talk about my mother. Do you mind if I talk about my mother? I really love my mother. Here she is with my 95-year-old dad. She's 92. And I got a call from her the other day, and I said, Mom, what's going on? She said, I'm taking a lot of naps. I don't understand this. What's going on? So I said, have you been to the doctor? She said, yes, I've gone to the doctor. I've seen my cardiologist, and my heart rate is low. My heart rate should be 60, and it's 40. And he's suggesting that I should get a pacemaker. I said, well, Mom, that's terrific, but don't do anything you really don't want to do. So she made the arrangements, and I said, Mom, I live in Orlando. I'll fly up. Let me come and help you and Dad as you go through this process. So I picked up my mom and dad, drove them to the hospital, and you'll never guess what they did. They checked her in. They said, we've got all the information we know about you, and we have it on paper. This is great. We have all your blood tests. We have your x-rays, your EKGs. We got your insurance. But then they said, there are some things that are too important for paper. So what did they do? They put her on a heart monitor and a blood pressure cuff because there are some things in life that are too important for paper. It wasn't good enough to have it in the file that said, well, this is her blood pressure and this is her glucose and this is her whatever. They needed to know right then and there what was going on. She was wheeled into surgery with a pulse of 40. She was wheeled out with a natural pulse of 60. And why did that happen? Why didn't they just take it off and say, well, she's better? No, because there are some things in life that are too important for paper. You need to know the information. You need to know that it's right there, right then. And we have this exact same problem in certificates of insurance, proof of insurance. It is information that is locked on a form that actually may be a lie. Do you know my timer's not working? That's okay. So, did you like that, Paul? I thought that was good. So anyway, the information is locked on the form, and if I hand it to you today, tomorrow, how do you know the policy's still in effect? How do you know my coverages haven't been changed? How do you know that the policy's been canceled because of changes outside? You see, there are some things in life, there are some things in insurance that are too important for paper. We can't do this. Think about the cost that we go through this. These are not our numbers, by the way. $7 to $18 a pop to create this. And it's done with how much revenue by the agent or the carrier that produces it? Zero. Yes, thank you very much. And it's produced more than 100 million Accord certs are produced annually. This does not include what's in your wallet right now. Your driver ID card. I live in the great state of Florida, and 18 to 19% of every driver, when you go to Disney World, please come. We love your sales tax dollars. Every car, 18 out of 100, no insurance. But I'll guarantee you one thing. They all have driver ID cards because they couldn't get the little sticker on their license plate without it. So what we have here is a problem. The cost and the 45% in error. Can I ask you a question? If your organization name was on a piece of paper or on a screen and 45% of them were wrong, wouldn't you want to do something about that? Isn't that a negative impact on you? And if you're a carrier and want to sell small commercial directly to insureds, guess what? You just picked up this burden. You're going to be having to produce certificates and proof of insurance, and it's all going to come falling on you. The numbers, $1.3 trillion in commercial mortgages. Every one of them, every year, requires proof of insurance to the banks. You know, these numbers I'm not going to go through, but the numbers are staggering. There is approximately $36 billion spent annually North America alone on producing a piece of paper that has 45% errors. That is just a ginormous number. And it's all lines of business, personal, commercial, or whatever. You see, because the data is locked on the form. And it doesn't matter how much of an effort, how desperately we want to get this right, a certificate in itself can never grow up to give you the information because it's locked. The data is stuck in there, and there's no way to pull it out. And think about, have you ever received a certificate? You then incurred a cost that said, well, I've got to read this thing. I have to see, does it meet my requirements? Does it really do what I need it to do? It's a nightmare. Everybody's looking at different systems at different points in time, and no one is looking at the same information in the same way. This is where GAPro Verification as a Service provides a central repository of policy data where all four stakeholders can look at the data. Resides on a Microsoft platform on the cloud with security so that only you see what you're supposed to see and grant permission to others. It collects, it verifies, it notifies. And it's daily. It's daily. It's information that never grows old. It never gets stale. So it's live data. So think about your computer. In the bottom right-hand corner, you probably have an icon that says, my virus protection is running. Would you like it to send you an email that said, yesterday I ran the virus protection and everything is good? Would you like that? How good would that be? How long would it last? No, you need the repetitive process of continual monitoring. And it's the same thing with insurance. When you look at the entire scope of it, think about if you ever been picked up by Uber or Lyft. Can I ask you a question? How do you know that they have insurance? The answer is you don't. When we come to autonomous vehicles, when they pull up to pick you up, how are you going to know that they're insured? There's insurance there. You're not going to know if it's on a piece of paper. It has to be data-driven. The banks are looking at this with great interest because they have factories of people looking at this on a paper basis, lighting a candle, saying a prayer, saying, I hope this insurance is real. My mom celebrated her 93rd birthday, and she got her first tiara. She was so excited. Why? Because there are some things that are more important than paper. The information that was in the file was great, but they needed repetitive validation. They needed live data, not stuck in a file. This is exactly what we need in the insurance marketplace. It's a global problem, and GAPro is in a unique position to do it. By the way, this talk is based on an article that appeared in Insurance Thought Leadership. If you want to get the details, go to their website and look for me. Or the other thing is we're in kiosks number 7. We would love to have a conversation with you. One last thought. We're here about insurance. You should be proud to be part of an industry that provides help to those in time of trouble. You have a great day. Thank you.